if you look at the access is the open-ended nature of education. Access at primary level is not the same as access at secondary level and at university level. So how do we make this access cut across all levels? Some countries have done that. I think Namibia, for the first time, has opened access up to university and colleges. Participation, if you look at the number of students that are continuously maintained in a school, you find that Central and Nairobi is the highest. But if you come to Coast and Northeastern, you find that participation is very, very low. So how do we remove these barriers so that students can learn continuously? And also the performance is very different. Some areas, some regions are doing far much better than others. Then the rationale for equity in education sector is that we want to promote equity because education has been seen as a form of investment in human capital. So you invest in human capital across all regions. Number two, we want also to strengthen social cohesion because when you have all region, you have every part of the country easily accessible in terms of education, then you find that anybody can transverse anywhere and therefore bringing about social cohesion. And lastly is the reduction in social safety nets. Social safety nets kwa Kiswahili ni ile kupunguza makali ya njaa ama shida katika manyumba zetu ama familia zetu. Okay? So when we are educated in all regions, then you will find that these social safety nets are going to be reduced. There are some regions which seemed to be either semi or arid, and they are very marginalized. Kunakuwa na shida nyingi to an extent that they keep every year in kunatumwa misaada. Misaada is a good form of social safety nets. So we can reduce on these social safety nets through education or through equitable education that is distributed to all regions of the country. Then other aspects of equity is the directionality of equity in the aspect of you find equity seen in different way. Like we have dimensions of equity in the sense of gender, where you find girls and boys are placed differently. This can bring about inequity. Ethnicity, in terms of maybe people from different background can bring the able and the disabled, the rich and the poor, urban versus rural schools. This can bring such kind of dimensions or dichotomies can bring about inequity. So there are signs that we can use in schools to identify cases of inequity. One of the signs are projected through participation. Through participation, I said participation is how consistent are you in school? Are you always available in school? That is participation. So that when you find that there is a high profile of dropping out, especially at basic education, then this is a sign that there is inequity regarding to participation. Okay. There is also, if you want to see inequity, the signs of inequity regarding learning outcomes, where you find that there are profile for low achievers and high achievers, especially when we release the results and you say number 1 ilikuwa shule hii, number 2 ilikuwa shule hii, number 3 ilikuwa shule hii, then kashule kako akaonekana kako wapi, which means your school is now placed within the low achievers. That's profiling, and it is a way in which we see that there are signs of inequity regarding learning outcomes. Then the other one is signs of inequity that regards to selectivity. Now, signs of inequity with regard to selectivity is seen where you find that there is a growing private sector. Private schools are growing high, so that you have a system where you have elite schools, selectivity. So schools select. You go to a private school because the public schools are not doing well. So if you have money, you can be selected to go to private school, any private school you want, because they're also looking at the money element. Then we have a profile of elite school, public schools, like the national schools, which are doing very well, but you have to score a certain level of score for you to be admitted there. So this means that people are now being segregated based on the selection criteria. I think I'll stop there for today.